This is for my wife's family side. We're going to go over the December monthly budget that my wife and I had created not too long ago. We do have a Budget With Us series on her channel where we go through our budget and kind of go through it in more, I would say, greater detail and explanation. So I'm going to kind of run through the line items for you here so you can get a picture of what our December budget looks like. I might mention a few things here and there about certain line items, but for the most part, I'm going to try to do a little bit faster than I did the last time. I know last time with the November budget, I said I was going to be quick, and honestly, I think looking back on it, I really wasn't quick. So we'll see how this one goes. The first category we're going to talk about is the housing category. So our mortgage is still $781.60. That does include an escrow, so that's property taxes and homeowner's insurance. We have our water bill coming in at $148, which is elevated, and I've mentioned the reason why, I think, in the previous budget, so I'm not going to go into that there. But yes, it is very high. And it's not because we're using an insane amount of water, by the way. Internet, our internet is $40 a month. We use Frontier, and we've had to make threats to keep that bill as low as it has been. Electricity and gas for this month is going to be $166.80. That includes, obviously, heat and also electricity. It's in the same company for both, so it's just one bill, all lumped together. Trash was paid last month. It was $75. We do it every 3 months, so we are off the hook for this month. And then our phone bill is $50, and we are on my parents' plan, the family plan that they have there, because it tends to be cheaper when you are grouped up in a larger family plan than it is doing it individually or with just the two of us, my wife and I. So that leaves the housing category, and we're going to go on to the transportation category, which in our transportation category, we just put gas for our vehicles there. We do not have auto payments, so car loans, because both of our cars are fully paid off. We only have one debt left to go with, and that's a student loan debt, which I'll mention later on in the budget. We're going to be budgeting $180 this month for gas. That's been the typical number we've used. Often we go under on that number, but we might hit right around that number due to all the Christmas plans and traveling everywhere. So we'll see about that one. In the food category, we have 3 line items. The first one's groceries, which is $400. I mentioned this in my cost of kids segment about groceries, which was in the previous episode, that it used to be about $300 a month for groceries, and then it went to $350, and now it's $400. So it's been slowly going up as we've had more kids. We have 2 kids, by the way, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Restaurants, we're going to plan for $40. We came under last month. We spent only about $28 out of the $50 that we planned. We're hoping that we won't be going out a lot in December for restaurants and that sort of thing. So we decided to go down a little bit to $40. And we'll see how things go for the month of December there. Christmas food is the last line item for this category. We're planning on $20 there. We have 2 Christmas parties that we'll be doing. There's also a Christmas cookie tradition that we do with my parents. So we think with all the side dishes and that sort of thing, it should only come to about $20, but who knows? We did go under on our $25 plan for the Thanksgiving food. And we had 4 parties that we did for November. So if we came in under on that, I think we'll come in under on $20 for Christmas food, but we'll see. The next category is the personal category, and we have quite a few line items to go through on this one. So my wife and I both have a pocket money category. Essentially, we can use this category, this line item, I should say, to spend money however we feel without any justification to the other. And that is $30. So we both basically get $30 for the month of December to spend however we feel. Then we have the toiletries and cleaning line item, which is, toothpaste, toothbrush, mouthwash, toilet paper, all those sorts of things, and we're planning to spend roughly $40. We bumped it up this time because the $30 that we had been doing in the past just wasn't cutting it anymore. And this sometimes happens when you are making a budget, that you will have to bump things up over time because you're just not meeting the original target that you had before. That's called planning a realistic budget instead of an unrealistic one. So we bumped it up to 40. We also have 529 plans for both of the kids, and we're putting away about $30 per kid. So that's a total of $60 there. And then in the diaper and wipe line item, we're planning on $30 again there. The miscellaneous line item is going to be $0. This is just kind of a catch-all thing that we have. So we never really plan to spend money here, but it does happen sometimes. Homeschool line item, my 3-year-old son has been getting some early learning in case we're trying to prepare him for the 4-year-old program, 5-year-old programs, those sorts of things. So we're trying to give him a little bit of a leg up there when it comes to having to do those things. So we've been putting a little bit of money into that from time to time, but we're going to only put $0 in for this particular month. And then we have frames and prints because my wife is updating the decorations in the house. So that's $30. And then a Secret Santa line item. This is for my wife's family side. We do a Secret Santa activity with them, and we have to spend about $35 to $40, somewhere around there, for the person that we get. Since we're both participating, that's about $80 for our family to buy those gifts. So that's why we have $80 for that line item. Moving into the next 3 categories, these all only have one line item, so we're just going to go through them real quick. In the lifestyle category, we have pet care. So this is essentially dog food, $14 there. Medicine and vitamins, the kids need new daily vitamins, so we're just planning to spend $10 there. And then in our auto insurance category, it's $146 for the 2 cars. Then moving along to the debt category, where we only have one debt that we are paying for, and that is the student loan debt. And it's about $161 a month there. We are trying to pay that down quickly. So I'm hoping that by May of 2026, that'll be fully paid off and that money will be freed up to be spent in other areas. Which leads me to the last category, which is the savings category. We have an emergency fund. It's $1,000. We're not going to be putting any money into that because the emergency fund is fully funded. And then the student loan debt line item in the savings category is the extra payment that I'm making. So we're making $200 in extra payments for the student loan debt. So that is put in the savings category rather than in the debt category down below. And then the last one is the Christmas present line item. That one, we've been making a sinking fund for that, and it's been 3 months in the making. So we have about $90 to spend on Christmas presents for the 2 kids, so about $45 each. And we're going to be spending that money very soon, but we've been doing that for the months of October, November, and now December. So that's where that $90 comes from, $30 of each of those months. So that line item will be disappearing after this month. And that pretty much wraps up all of the line items for the month of December here. If you have a monthly budget for December that you have created and you would like to share a little bit of information about maybe some of the line items that you use that might be different than the ones that we're using, go ahead and let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you guys are doing when it comes to budgeting and how we could potentially improve in that area. So that...